Okay, this trick is called the pocket beheaded lady or the floating lady's head. What you do is you're going to show this, and basically you can show the back, nothing on the back, show the front. We're going to show you how this lady, I can pull up the cardboard, the lady comes out, and I'm going to push it down. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spin around. So I'm just going to spin around once, and then here. I'm just going to wave my hand over it, or I can snap, whatever you want. I'm going to make her head float up. Her head floats up. Now here, I'll push it back down, and here I'm going to spin around again. I'm just going to spin around, and then I'm going to turn back, and then here, we'll take it again, wave my hand, and say, look, she's back in one piece. Her head is now connected to the rest of her body, nothing on the back, and that's called the beheaded lady illusion or the floating lady's head. Here's how this works. There's another piece. So there's another piece here that flips over, and it has just her head. Now this was hiding on the back, but they don't see it because I covered it with my finger. I covered that little bump. And then all I did was this. When I turned around behind my back, all I did was flip it over and then covered the bump again. So now when I'm lifting her head up, this is the fake piece, and her head's just coming up like that. The whole thing is you don't want them to obviously see you flip it over, so that's why I turn around and do it when it's behind my back. A couple things you want to be careful about with the kids. You don't want them to pull this all the way out. It's way too hard to get it back in this little plastic thing. There's a plastic thing that this slides into. It's just too hard for them to get it back in. So I tell them to pull it probably about that high, just so her head is kind of fully out of the little casing. About that high, and then I tell them to push it back in. Be careful when you push it back in, because you don't want to push it too far to the side. You might rip the plastic. When this is on the other side, I also tell them don't take it all the way out. If it comes out, once again, it's way too hard for them to get back in. So I just tell them, once again, cover that bump with your finger. I tell them to take it about halfway up. Halfway. That's usually enough so it can look like her head's floating up. Push it back. And that's basically how you do it. So when I teach the kids, I tell them, first of all, hide that fake piece, put your thumb over it, and then show them, say nothing on the back, because your thumb is covering that bump, and then say I have a little lady's, picture of a lady, and you say I can take her out, and you see how it's all one piece of cardboard. I push it down, then I say, watch, I'm going to spin around, now I'm flipping it over, I just flipped it over, I cover the bump, and I say, look, I'm now going to wave my hand, and I'm going to make her head can come off. Her head floats up, halfway up about, and then I push it back down. I turn around again, I flip it back over, and then I say, now, you know what, I'm going to fix it, abracadabra, and then I just pull it out once again about that high, making sure not to show them the back. If you show them the back, that's fine, but make sure your hand is covering that bump. And that's pretty much all you have to do. It's going to take the kids a little practice just to turn around, not make it look like they're doing something behind the back.